The story, Luke 10:25-37. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus shares the parable of the Good Samaritan in response to a question from a lawyer who wanted to test him. The lawyer asked, "Teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" Luke 10:25 ESV. Jesus, in his typical fashion, answered with another question, "What is written in the law? How do you read it?" Luke 10:26 ESV. The lawyer replied, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." Luke 10:27 ESV. Jesus affirmed his answer, saying, "You have answered correctly. Do this, and you will live." Luke 10:28 ESV. However, seeking to justify himself, the lawyer further asked, "And who is my neighbor?" Luke 10:29 ESV. In response, Jesus told the parable, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among robbers, who stripped him and beat him and departed, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. So likewise a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he journeyed, came to where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion. He went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he set him on his own animal and brought him to an inn and took care of him. And the next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper, saying, 'Take care of him, and whatever more you spend I will repay you when I come back.' Which of these 3 do you think proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell among the robbers?" Luke 10:30-36 ESV. The lawyer answered, "The one who showed him mercy." And Jesus said to him, "You go and do likewise." Luke 10:37 ESV. Modern application. The parable of the Good Samaritan offers profound lessons for Christians today. Let's break down the key elements and see how we can apply them to our lives. Recognizing our neighbor, Jesus redefined the concept of a neighbor. Our neighbor is not just someone who lives next door or within our social circle, but anyone in need. This calls us to extend our compassion beyond our immediate community to anyone who is suffering or in need. Overcoming prejudices. The Samaritan in the parable was a member of a group despised by Jews of that time. Yet he was the one who acted with kindness. This teaches us to overcome societal prejudices and biases. We should act in love and compassion regardless of cultural, racial, or social differences. Active compassion. The Samaritan didn't just feel sorry for the wounded man. He took action. He used his resources to help someone in need, showing that true compassion involves taking tangible steps to alleviate suffering. As Christians, we are called to translate our feelings of empathy into acts of kindness and generosity. Sacrificial love. The Samaritan's actions were sacrificial. He used his own supplies, time, and money to ensure the man's recovery. In our lives, we are called to love others even when it costs us something, be it time, resources, or comfort. Holistic care. The Samaritan cared for the man's immediate wounds and ensured he was taken care of in the future. This holistic approach to helping others can be applied in various aspects of life, from providing immediate relief to supporting long-term recovery and well-being. Practical steps for today. Identify needs around you. Look for opportunities to help those in need in your community. This could be through volunteering, donating to charities, or simply being there for a friend or neighbor in distress. Challenge prejudices. Make a conscious effort to understand and overcome your biases. Engage with people from different backgrounds and learn to appreciate the diversity in God's creation. Take action. When you see someone in need, don't just offer words of comfort. Take action. Whether it's providing a meal, offering a ride, or helping someone with their daily tasks, small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Be generous with your resources. Like the Samaritan, be willing to use your resources for the benefit of others. This includes your time, money, and talents. Consider supporting organizations that work towards social justice and aid. Promote holistic well-being. Advocate for and support initiatives that provide long-term solutions to problems, such as education, healthcare, and social services. In conclusion, the parable of the Good Samaritan teaches us that true discipleship involves loving others selflessly and actively. By living out these principles, we reflect the love of Christ and fulfill his command to love our neighbors as ourselves.